Welcome to the Comedy Here Often podcast. I'm your host, Kevvy. This week on the show are comedians Yumi Nagashima and Ivan Decker.
Another podcast?
Yeah, where he starts eating.
Yeah.
Last time he was on, she pressed record, and what did you have?
I was eating a coffee cake.
Crumbly coffee cake.
A real crumbler.
Crumbly coffee cake.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm eating a cookie with both M&Ms and chocolate chips.
What if it was Smarties also? Be real.
Do you think the chocolate chips feel self-conscious around the M&Ms?
You're like, I can't possibly be expected to be as good as that.
Yeah.
That's me plus candy coating.
Yeah, they're like, why would you even invite me? You've got M&Ms, don't invite me. I'll be over there where I'm the star. It's like putting a chocolate chip in an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Oh man, here we go. This guy and raisins. I watched I came to the debaters last week, and your debate was anti-raisins, and I think it was the angriest I've ever seen you.
Oh yeah, you were so mad.
Yeah, but Yumi and I went.
Yeah. Well, I feel very strongly about them.
I've noticed. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I have the same shredder. Very nice.
I need a shredder.
I love that they have a credit card slot in a shredder. Like, how often are you shredding credit cards? What kind of identity thieving life are you living that you're like, give me a specific slot? I'm shredding a lot of credit cards.
I guess it depends on how much fraud you're guilty of.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Hi, Yumi.
Hi, Kevvy. Oh, this is starting already.
We started.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
You know the show started when Ivan's eating a cookie.
Yeah, it's very rude.
That's a sign.
Nobody there's no count in here.
I don't like those.
3, 2, 1. It's just like, we're rolling.
It's not a real podcast unless someone asks if you're recording.
Yeah.
Are we recording? That's how you know.
Did we start?
Did we start? Yeah. And I'm really bad at ending them,
I like
too.
these pants, Kevvy.
I love your pants. You always have high quality clothing these
thank
days.
you.
Like, I haven't seen you wear just a t-shirt in years, I feel like.
No, it's been a while.
Fancy.
I normally, when I fly, I don't dress up, but the last 2 days I did. I wore these pants on a flight, and I'm not used to having, like, I usually wear, like, athletic pants with zipper pockets.
Yeah, I
Right.
like
And
that.
so as a result of that, I lost both my Bluetooth earbuds and my joke book
Oh, my God.
on an airplane.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
So I'm now have no music and no jokes.
Medialess.
I'm just a shell of my former self.
What do you wear on the airplane, Yumi?
I wear comfortable clothes.
Yeah. Me
Like-
too. I don't want to have a belt that I have to take off when going through security.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if you're wearing a belt on the airplane, you've made some mistakes in your life.
It's true. Yeah.
Contrary to what everybody's wearing in business class. First class with a belt equals coach no belt. We're on the same. I'm back there, but I'm wearing an elastic waist. So
I don't care how
Who's
wide your
winning?
chair is. Yeah. Yeah. Are you afraid of flying?
No, not at all.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
Fearless.
I'm
Wow.
so fearless.
Yumi's fearless. We just saw someone drive by that had a novelty-sized air freshener in the back, and Yumi reassured them. She was like, "Your air freshener is big," and did a thumbs up at the end. She was saying that she wants to learn how to say no more often, but I was saying that a friend of mine, someone asked him for a cigarette, and he went, "No." Like, saying no coupled with this positive affirmation might be her key into learning
That's
how
a
to
good.
say no.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah.
smooth
Yeah,
transition.
so like I've been flying so much. Like sometimes like flights is cheaper when it's like 13th Friday. You know what I mean?
Superstitious fools.
Yeah. Or like in Japan, like we have this one's called Butsumetsu. It's like the day God dies, like
Oh no.
Buddha dies.
Oh.
And then
Okay.
it's kind of like people think it's a like bad day to
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
So that's why it's cheap. And I'm like, okay, give it to me.
Give me that.
Yeah. I'll live on the 13th floor.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm a survivor.
Yeah. I know someone who got property cheaply in Vancouver because the property was in the shape of a triangle, which
Yeah.
is apparently
Oh,
like
right.
unlucky.
Early bad luck.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want something to do with.
Because, you know, sometimes things get lost in triangle.
Oh.
Like Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
And the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're using triangle. What is this day that Buddha died? What happened?
Yeah.
Is it like Easter? Like, did he come back 3 days later? Because we
No.
have that too.
You know what?
We just
It
call him
comes,
Jesus.
like way more often than it should be because like
It's more than once a year?
Yeah. Like I think it has at least one day in a month.
What?
Yeah.
Man, our Lord and Savior came back once.
Yeah.
Your guy was like, I'm coming back. I'm dead again.
Yeah.
I really can't seem to stay alive. Why am I the deity again? Stop worshiping me. I can't live. No, please tell us what to do. I can't. I'm dying again.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta admit, I don't really like this game. I'm clearly not good at it. Oh man,
Teach us your ways.
I'm so interested in superstitions from around the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the fan death one? Do you remember that one?
Found this?
I think it's a Korean.
Oh yeah, you can't have a fan
Yeah.
blowing on a baby or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
I produced an album by a band called Fan Death, and that's how I knew about it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
I like
funny.
looking at like the way over the centuries people have interpreted like dreams and how they mean
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that's always like all the studies that have gone into that and
Yeah.
how they actually it's just like whatever you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
I've had this theory since I was a kid, and then it was also reaffirmed in this documentary I watched where your brain is like the hard drive defragmenting itself.
Oh,
So
wow.
dreams are just like throwing out the garbage
It's like
thoughts
cleaning-
that you don't need.
Right.
And so like, you know, it's all these because it's also your ability to remember the past affects your ability to think about the future, and that's also what makes humans so great.
Yeah.
Is the fact that we can look at past scenarios and apply that knowledge to future scenarios to decide what to do with ourselves.
Okay.
So people that have had their hippocampus damaged in surgery, that's the part of your brain that like it's like the needle on the record that records
Wow.
memories. And
What a great
if,
analogy.
If that piece is specifically damaged, they both can't remember the past, but they also can't remember the future. They can't, like, when you ask them, like, what are you going to do tomorrow? They're like, I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like really weird. But then there's also some memories, like song lyrics, or like how to ride a bike, or like how to play the piano. They can remember. So it's like even though they can't remember what happened yesterday, you'll put like a sheet music in front of them, or you start playing a song that they know how to play on the piano, and they
Yeah.
can do it, no problem.
Different part of the brain.
Yeah.
Wait, so like a dream is like you're throwing away the memories that you don't need?
Yeah.
So it's like garbage.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what they were saying.
Wow.
I hope that's true. I don't need most of this.
And they did, yeah. I know, if my dreams are important, ooh boy. We're in trouble. There's going to be a lot of really big ice cream cones in my future.
Huge air fresheners.
I do appreciate small things that are really big or
Yeah.
big things that are really small.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that?
What does it mean?
Like an example.
Like an example of like the really big air freshener, like this really big mug.
oh,
yeah.
right.
Or
Oh,
when
yeah.
you have like big things, but like miniature. Like
Yeah,
the
I
little
get you.
small.
Oh,
like I
yeah.
love all the Japanese Instagram accounts of the tiny food.
Oh, I know, yeah.
It's so
cute.
great.
Love it.
Yeah.
Such
I love a good
dedication
dollhouse.
So
in
Yeah,
details.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
when
crazy.
they have like
yeah.
the little tiny like sushi, they're like
I'm on a diet.
little tiny pizzas.
I feel like that was a bit of an Ivan Decker on stage act out I just
Yeah.
did.
He never does this.
Yeah.
He doesn't do this one, but when he did his Walking Dead bit, he went,
I've noticed when I'm on stage, I move my head a lot like this.
Yeah.
This is the key to my comedy. That's my impression of me. If I was roasting myself.
Yumi, do you have recurring dreams?
Recurring dreams? No, I don't. Sorry.
Well, like a common one that me and a lot of people have is that our teeth fall out.
Yes.
Yeah, you have that one too.
Ooh,
or that I'm
it's
still in
terrifying,
high school and I haven't
yeah.
graduated yet. And
High
I'm
school or first job.
Yeah.
They also say that the events that take place in people's dreams are more common in your like teens to 20s because
Okay.
a lot of memory is connected to emotion. And so if you're feeling something when you remember things, that will create a more vivid memory.
Okay.
And so because you're having a lot of feelings
Yeah.
when you're a teenager,
Yeah.
that's why that's so connected to like your subconscious. And so
Yeah.
I have so many dreams about my first job that I ever had, which is like I worked in a grocery store. But then the weird thing is the dream will be like comedians. It'll be like people I know now are all working at this grocery store. So like my boss is like Ryan Williams. And he's like, get back there! We ran out of peanut butter!
It's an intense boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle Bottoms in there asking how the eggs are.
Yeah.
Stuff like
He's
that.
a cashier.
He's a cashier, yeah.
Have you had I have the teeth dream a lot.
Yeah, I have
Your
that.
teeth fall out.
I also have one where I'm fighting for my life and my punches are doing nothing to my opponent. Feel
Soft
very
punch, getting chased, and falling are like the other common ones.
Or I'll just have one that I'm just falling all of a sudden and I'll be like, ah!
Yeah.
Wake myself up. Like
Those ones are weird, right?
Yeah.
They call it like the banana peel awakening. Like, you know, when you're just starting to fall asleep and then all of a sudden you're like,
yeah, I do
wake
that.
up.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous if you sleep with somebody because you might elbow them in the face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff gets those a lot. My boyfriend, he'll like get them while he's falling asleep, and then he'll kind of go like, oh no.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Like something has really frightened him.
He's like, do you have a paper shredder with a credit card slot?
I gotta prevent fraud.
I have to destroy my old life.
Yeah. I like the idea of getting rid of credit card debt by shredding your credit card and thinking, problem solved.
They'll never find me.
Yeah.
I dream of my Japanese family in Japan a lot.
Yeah?
I guess I don't need them anymore. That's what's happening.
They're like, Yumi, we miss you. And you're like, okay. So anyway, I was just talking to
Your
you.
brain is just like empty recycle.
Family
Yeah.
past.
Open
Shredded.
Spotify.
Oh, man.
Yumi was telling me that at one point she'd convinced herself she's actually a robot.
Oh,
So
no.
maybe this is true.
This is when I was super stoned and I got paranoia. And then when I was like looked in the mirror, like my like huge vein on my forehead moved really like weirdly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I must be an android. That's what I thought.
You know how their veins.
No. Yeah, but like, I was talking about like this theory with Mark Nesbitt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know, like there's actually higher intelligence people playing computer game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we think like we really exist, but we don't, kind of thing. And like I know it's kind of scary,
really scary.
especially when you're stoned.
But the only way that would make sense is if we're the first one. I forget, somebody explained it to me, but it's like if we're living in a simulation,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense that there would be multiple, because like people always say that like because of like the way technology is now, if you push it forward, like the simulation's only going to get more and more complex, and then we would be in it. But it's like there'd be no reason. It's like, who would be the person pulling the strings? Damn it, I don't remember. I do remember the only other part that was neat was that the where the simulation could be taking place is on the event horizon of a black hole, which is basically like the edge of a black hole.
Yeah.
Is basically an infinite storage space for data.
Wow.
So like this could all be happening. The Earth could have gotten sucked into a black hole, and then we're all just experiencing what's happening as it's going in.
Infinite space for data.
Yeah.
Can my internet provider access that?
Ivan
hole
sounds
battery.
too intelligent. He
Ivan's
might be
very
an android.
intelligent.
But I'm not, because I don't remember sources, and this is probably
No.
wrong.
But remember the debate when I can't remember what your opponent said, but you took it apart with science. It's like, oh yeah, Ivan cares about science and also comedy. You know what I mean? Like it's like you
Not
you
only
are
food.
not only food, not only raisins, craisins.
Science is wrong a lot of the time, though. I feel like it infuriates scientists to listen to me, because I don't like... like in school, I never liked... I liked the subject matter, but the
Yeah.
part of school that made me so angry was like, who did what when?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like, you need dates. It was like, it was Captain Richardson in 1772 did I'm like, I don't care who this guy is,
Yeah.
and I don't care when it happened.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
why I like the thing.
Yeah. Were you a good student?
No. Very
Wow.
bad. Never did homework.
But you probably got good
I
grades.
was always
though.
joking around in class. If the teacher was compelling, I could do it. Did you do well in school?
Yeah, I did pretty well.
Yeah?
Because like I was good at to do things what I've been told to do,
Efficiency.
like Android.
Like
Maybe you are an android. Oh my god.
yeah. I'm starting to believe you, Yumi.
This is like finally Android start having ego.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
ego
Ego.
or like self. What I don't
Self-awareness,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
And emotions.
Yeah, and feelings. So
Yeah.
like I have like lots of feeling related dreams
Yeah?
like teenager now.
You're doing your teenage years now.
That's good.
Yeah.
I do think there are things. It's like when you see things in the world that make you go like, this seems odd. Like you can see, people always say that's like the simulation is breaking down. It happened to me like 3 days ago. I was on stage and 3 people in the audience took a sip of their beer at exactly the same time
Oh my
with their
gosh.
arm, and they were all sitting like behind each other. So like the audience was in a line. And so it was like I did a joke, and then all 3 of them just went like
my
in sync, and I was like,
That's like in a video game where there's an audience part and the programmers were lazy for one day.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, that's funny.
That's great. There's actually an NBA YouTube account of times players have done things at the exact same time, and it's so poetic looking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Such a like weird niche thing to specialize in and look for.
Yeah. Yeah. When things do stuff at the same time. I love it.
Is that the name of this episode? When things do things at the same time.
Things do stuff at the same time. Love vagary.
Yumi, did you ever have a day job like where bad things happened? Like, what's your worst day job story?
Japanese server. Wait, Japanese restaurant server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japanese restaurant server.
Yeah.
So your worst day job story was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I had to like run like a race horse in kimono.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Was it one of the ones where you have to yell to the...
Yeah.
Like, I love those when you go in, like, the
Irashaimase.
izakayas. Yeah. Always yell, like, Irashaimase! And then, like, the whole kitchen has to yell to you as the customer, and then I never know what to do. I'm like, eh? I'm like, is there something I'm supposed to yell back? I don't know.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah. Arigato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goshitosama deshita!
oh yay! Did you know Ivan Dekker is fluent in Japanese?
I am not.
Yeah.
I know, like,
oh, that's
4
maybe
phrases.
Ken Dekker.
Fluent in Japanese restaurant menus.
Yes, exactly. I can say, nigiri.
That'd be funny if you got really into the restaurant in the dark that you went to the point that you started insisting on all the restaurants you go to do that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's too much lighting in here.
Yeah, turn it out. I started trying to make those onigiri, the like rice.
Oh my
things.
gosh, why do you know the vocabulary?
I love it.
Like, it's like so mind blowing.
But I don't know. It's like something about rice being squished into a little ball
Oh,
and then
yeah.
like cooked. It's like it's so much better than regular rice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no, onigiri is my soul food.
I
Yeah?
love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Wow, we should probably get some after.
But I learned I didn't know how to make it, so I tried. I was like, I didn't look up a recipe or anything. I was like, probably just squish in a ball, put it in a frying pan. I can do that, no problem. And I did it. I like squishing it because I went to an izakaya and I watched them making it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're brushing soy sauce on it. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. But I didn't want to get a brush. I got lazy.
Yeah.
So I squished them into a ball. I put them in the pan, and then I poured soy sauce into them. But that doesn't work because now you've just broken down the structural integrity of the entire thing. And so after I poured the soy sauce, I just watched all 3 of them go. It was like, fall open. I was like, I just made rice. I just made rice with extra steps.
Rice is good too.
I mean, I still ate it. Yes.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
wanted it to be.
Yeah, as long as it tastes good, you know. Yeah.
I love it. Dim sum restaurants when they bring it to you wrapped in leaves.
Oh yeah,
That's really good.
the vine leaf with
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
got like meat in it
Yeah,
sometimes.
sticky rice.
It's very good.
Yeah, we're hungry.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are really hungry.
Me, I had a cookie right off the top.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome, audience.
So
That
that
ASMR. That'll be. I'm gonna do a podcast where I just eat things into the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think Yumi could be really successful with that.
I really don't understand ASMR. I've tried to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I don't get it.
Like why it's successful, you mean?
Because I guess it's like to make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's like there's like stimulating special nerves by like, so like it's supposed to be calming and then like makes you fall asleep quicker.
Yeah, I know
Apparently,
people fall
like-
asleep to them.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
It's like white noise.
Yeah.
Well, what's white noise anyway?
It's like a really about north. Like anytime a white person makes noise.
There's machines called white noise machines, and it just makes a sound that's calming, and people sleep to it.
well, what can you hear it from it?
It's just like static on a TV.
Oh.
So the reason
It's
why is
really
because
nice.
somebody at some point in the past assigned a color to each wavelength
Yeah.
on the sound spectrum. I mean, you know this.
Yeah, pink
You're a
noise.
sound guy.
Brown
there's
noise
also
as
pink
well.
noise,
Oh, yeah.
There's brown noise, which makes you shit your pants.
Nasty.
Chocolate rain.
Oh man, what happened to that guy?
I was just talking about.
Tay-Zonde.
I was just talking about. I was just explaining him to somebody.
No, like last night at Kill Tony,
Yeah.
like there was like one black comedian on stage,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, it was nothing to do with his set, but like all of a sudden like DJ started playing like
Red Band, of course. Yeah.
Chocolate
Rain.
rain, and
Yeah.
he sang to it, and it was beautiful.
Oh my god, that's the best.
I forgot about that song.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper picked that guy up.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
had a whole
right.
campaign with him.
That's right, cherry chocolate rain.
That was like. It was like early YouTube
funny.
celebrity.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like one of the first monetized YouTuber. Because it's
Yeah.
crazy if you go back to like E-Bomb's world
Yeah.
and like there were all these YouTube celebrities who did it. Like the whole Strong Bad emails.
Yeah.
Like those guys did not make any money off that. They
Yeah.
were just doing it for it to be great.
Oh no!
I mean, I hope like they made money off merch and stuff. I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
like definitely not the kind of money that like PewDiePie makes
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Or Yumi makes.
or Yumi. Very big
Yeah.
YouTube celebrity.
In a good day. Sometimes I make money and sometimes I don't.
That's nice.
Gamble. Yeah.
It's a gamble. Every day's a gamble on
Like
YouTube.
me too.
Yeah.
I saw a thing today. I don't know if it was true, but it was like if you were alive when the pyramids were being built in like 2500 BC, and you were immortal, and you put $10,000 a day in a bank account from that point until now,
Yeah.
you still wouldn't have as much money as like Michael Bloomberg and like 5 of the most
What?
richest billionaires. Yeah, like the people don't
Insane.
understand the difference between a billion and a million, which is why it's so funny that he's like going after Bernie, being like, "You got a house in a different place." Bernie's like, "I live in Washington. I have a house. I have a cabin, and that's it."
I'm not smart enough to know how much a billion is.
It's a lot.
I just
lot.
don't.
Have you heard the time thing?
No.
The time thing is good. So it's like a million seconds is 12 days. So if you were to count
Okay.
to a million just with a second hand on your watch, that's
Yeah.
1 million seconds. 1 billion seconds is 32 years.
Okay.
That's the difference between a
See how
million
smart
and a
he is?
billion.
Now I understand it. Even dumb old Kevvy can
Like-
get
Like
it if
it's-
Ivan explained.
Like good at explaining
Yeah,
things.
he's
That's
very
what
good.
Ivan Decker.
That's why he's
yeah.
a great comedian.
I'm a real Malcolm Gladwell over here.
I'm more of a Malcolm Jamal Warner. It's a Cosby Show reference.
Nice. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
I just
good,
like
thank you.
totally forget like that I am a comedian. I just want to listen to it.
Yeah, I know. We're just a captive audience at this point.
I'm sorry, I'm talking too
No,
much.
no,
you're
no,
absolutely
my
no, no, no.
podcast. Welcome back to my podcast where I eat cookies and talk over the host. I had too much coffee.
No, that's good. And Erica Sigurdsson dropped you off.
That's right.
Yeah. How was Erica?
She's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you guys do today?
We just had a little meeting.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about doing some comedy.
Aww.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why? Aww. Like,
Just some cute little comedy.
Yeah. It
you know.
sounded cute.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
I like finding out which comedians hang out with each other.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I like to surround myself, much like I'm doing right now, with successful people.
There you
They
go.
say you are the average of the 5 people
5
you spend the most time with.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like trying to stick to Ivan so often. I'm like,
Hey, right
Ivan,
back at
yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Because I live in a house where my rent is $250.
Crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
amazing.
Yeah.
I lived in affordable housing for a while, and I had a $500 rent,
Oh
but it
my
was
gosh.
like pretty bad neighborhood.
But like, how did you come out of it?
I moved in with my fiance.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah,
You should have made her move into your place.
there was not enough room. There's not enough air in there for 2 people to breathe.
Yeah.
If we fell asleep with all the windows closed and the door, we would both wake up at 2 a.m. and be like,
Ziploc
window.
effect.
Yeah. It's like when you catch a frog and put it in a jar and don't poke holes in the top. Did you ever catch animals when you were a kid?
Yes,
Like at the
frog
pond?
was my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know, in Japan we have rice field with water in it.
Oh yeah.
And then like I would like go try to get frogs, but you know like Japanese school bag thing. Do you know?
Japanese
Yeah.
school bag.
like elementary school thing.
Yep.
It's called randoseru.
Okay.
But like when I go like this, like the back, it's like go like this.
Yeah, fall off your head.
And then there's one time like I thought like I would really fell in the rice field.
Okay.
And then like, I was so scared. And then the one boy grabbed my randoseru.
Oh. It's the most
He
graphic.
saved you?
It's the most graphic thing.
I still remember like because I thought I would be like
Yeah.
in the water with frogs.
Swimming with the
But
frogs.
it's not that deep, right? Isn't it only like...
it can be deep, but it's not that deep. Yeah.
It just would have been gross.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like 11 years old, my family was having a bonfire, like we were camping, and my little cousin found a frog, and she was sitting with it, she was holding it, and my mom was like, "You probably shouldn't sit near the fire with the frog." And then right on cue, the frog jumped into the fire. And my mom, that's the hardest I've ever seen her laugh. The frog would rather burn to death than be in the custody of my cousin.
Suicidal frog.
Yeah.
God.
We used to like catch frogs in my yard, and I remember I brought a bunch, like a bucket of frogs, a little habitat and everything, into my bedroom because I wanted to keep them.
Yeah.
And then I left and I had dinner and I went back and the frogs were gone.
Oh,
They jumped out of the bucket and I found a couple of them in my guitar. They jumped into my guitar.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh.
And it took so long to find it because like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They
it
don't
just
make
kept-
any noise.
It
Strings.
just kept
Yeah.
hitting the strings trying to get out. And I was like,
That's your ghost story.
Oh, man.
I remember also when I was pretty young, my mom bought an iguana. And it
Oh,
was
nice.
a baby, and then my cat got it, but it survived it, and then it was just crazy after that. It bit everybody, and then it escaped because it was scared. So then now you're just on pins and needles walking around your own house with Parker the iguana might get you. And one time he ran across my bed while I was in bed.
Oh, no. How is
Terrifying.
he staying warm
God.
enough?
I don't know. And then we eventually found him like behind the radiator.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause he needs to be hot.
Traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Gotta put out a
guy.
little
Iguana,
hot rock
yeah.
for him to come
Yeah.
sit on.
For him, it must have been worse though. My cat is also out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to kill him.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's like that Rorschach from Watchmen.
Yeah.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. I knew somebody that had a boa before they made like giant snakes illegal in Vancouver, and it was huge. It was like this giant, or it was like a python, whatever, one of those big snakes. But it was like they lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, and the snake had one of the bedrooms. Like it just had like
Huge.
there was no cage. They literally just the door to the room was the cage.
oh my God.
And you would open the door, and the snake would just be like in there, like, and the room smelled horrible.
Oh no.
And then like they had to also to feed the snake breed chinchillas because
Oh,
it ate
man.
chinchillas. So then the kitchen of the house was this chinchilla breeding
Oh
ground.
my god.
I mean, I grew up among hillbillies. So then they would basically like grab a chinchilla and just like open the door and like throw it in with the snake.
no
God.
way.
And it would like hunt the chinchilla.
Chinchilla is a dog.
No, it's like a rabbit.
A
Chihuahua.
rabbit.
It's like a rat and a rabbit
You're
combined.
thinking of Chihuahua,
Yeah.
which the snake also would eat probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Chinchillas are like they make hats and stuff out of them. They're like a
Yeah, like a
fur-
hairy mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bigger. Yeah.
It's like if you combined a bunny and a mouse, because it's like a bunny with like short ears but has a longer tail.
Right.
Cute.
It's really like
Yes.
they're pretty nice.
Yeah.
They're very friendly and they're easy to train.
Oh.
Like you can train chinchillas to like if you feed it when it does something. Like I saw a video of a guy who trained a chinchilla to peel the stickers off all of his fruit.
That's helpful.
So you put it on the counter and it would just go up to the apples and be like,
That's so adorable. That's so adorable.
So cute.
yeah.
Service
It's like just have
chinchillas.
those. Those are way cuter than the snake.
That's true.
I know.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
Much cheaper.
Doesn't require an entire bedroom.
Doesn't
Yeah.
murder anybody.
Yeah.
Snake kind of wants to murder everybody.
Yeah, it's like you
probably.
can't even go in the room. You just have a danger room in your
Yeah.
house. It's like a guest comes over. It's like, which one's the bathroom? Third door on the left. Okay, this one. No!
Dead. Another one dead. Do you ever have a dream that you've committed a horrible crime and wake up and feel guilty?
Yes.
I've had
Yeah. I had a dream last night that I had to murder somebody in self-defense. And then the dream was like, the trial and
So
everything.
it's so real. Your brain chose
So
to go really
realistic.
realistic and unfair.
My brain was like, you got to get a lawyer, and I was like in the yellow pages, like, who do I?
You're doing the
did
whole
you kill?
business aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
The
did you-
killing wasn't even the.
Who did you kill, Ivan?
I think it was just like a random hobo that just like attacked me in the street.
Right.
Named, insert comedian name here.
Yeah, it was random. Things were not going well for him.
I've had dreams where the girl I'm dating's cheated on me, and then my brain chooses to make it really realistic and like, yeah, and then they did this act, and it was in your bed, and it's like my brain's like mean to me. Come on.
But if you think about it, in the garbage aspect, it's because your brain has decided that you're never going to have to need that.
That's true. Thanks a lot, brain.
There you
I'm
go.
doing the thumbs up like Yumi did to the.
Yeah.
To the air freshener man.
Thanks, brain.
Yeah. And also my brain would conjure up like a really obscure name that would hurt the most. Be like, your best friend from 3rd grade. And they're married now.
Yeah.
My dream also includes that I never find anyone ever again also.
Yeah. It's just like, as like they lived happily ever after, he lived unhappily forever.
yeah.
The end.
Yeah, my brain is like a Harmony Korine movie. It's just like I die of a disease at the end of my own dream. So that was your worst day job was do you think working
Oh, we
Japanese-
will go back.
We
the
wanna go
Japanese
back.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Except the time you met George Clooney.
You met George Clooney?
Yeah. Yeah.
At the
I
restaurant?
I met George Clooney at the restaurant.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I also met Jack Black.
Yeah.
What?
This is not in the restaurant.
Oh.
It's just a cool story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Jack Black say?
Jack Black was in New York airport, JFK, and then he came out from the bathroom, and I went to him and asked to take a selfie together, and he was like, sure. And,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was really nice. Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
him.
His face was really red though.
Well, maybe he was just working out.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
Maybe he was in a hurry.
He was in a hurry, so his face
true.
goes red. Mine
Yeah.
goes red if I have a glass of
Sometimes
wine.
Airplanes are too hot too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I like putting a little thing on myself.
Yeah.
It cooks my voice though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bad for singers and stuff.
Oh,
The air
no
thing or
kidding.
just planes in general?
Planes in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get
dry
sick
out.
a lot.
You get dried out.
I do. Yeah.
I don't get sick as often as I should, I think. Based on how much I fly and how much I put things in my mouth that shouldn't be in there. I'm like a toddler. And my mom's not around anymore, so I can put whatever I want in my mouth. Not in your mouth, honey. That's your phone.
The tongue movement is
that
so
was-
funny. It
that was
looks
good.
like iguana.
It looks like iguana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Scared iguana from my childhood. What kind of pets did you have growing up?
A dog and rabbit. Rabbit got eaten by a cat.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was so sad.
A stray cat ate your rabbit?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Ah.
You know what's happening was like rabbit was kind of like trying to escape from the cage. So like she was like digging to make a path.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she finally got outside and got eaten by a cat.
See?
Yeah, it's so sad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Poetic
the alternate
justice.
ending to Shawshank Redemption.
yeah.
Tim
That
Robbins-
rabbit's name was Andy Dufresne.
Maybe like 2 seconds of freedom, liberation,
yeah.
independency,
Yeah.
and then
I
like
was like, it was worth it. That'd be great
Still,
if
yeah.
that's how Shawshank Redemption ends.
Yeah.
He gets out of there and a cat eats him. What? This movie is so realistic up to this point.
Yeah. It's like a leopard.
Land Shark. That's one of my favorite movies, I think.
Land shark?
Land Shark. No. Shaw Shark.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shaw Shark Redemption is the name of this episode.
Shawshark. It sounds
Did
like
you
the
get to see Parasite?
I haven't
No,
seen
I
it
haven't
yet
seen it
still.
yet. My dad loved it
I
though.
really want to see it.
Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing?
Well, Ivan and I go to movies, but it's always like a science fiction-y action movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So if The Rock is in it, like you and I went and saw Rampage the day it came out.
It was great. I saw the Jurassic World one, like, so overpriced because I went to like Universal Studios.
Oh, yeah,
I went to
yeah.
like the IMAX where you had to have special glasses you had to pay extra for. I think it was like $30 each for my fiance and I to see it, and I was like, still great.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Those dinosaurs were 3D as hell.
You can't really lose if you go in with that attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not expecting this to change my life. I just want to see some cool raptors.
As far as like people are, they judge movies on too many things now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't care if this, like, I'm always like, something can make up for other things. Like if it's an action movie, yeah, if there's lots of explosions and shooty shoots, then it's fine if the lines are dumb. I don't care.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it to be like with the superhero movies. They're like, it needs to have a compelling story, super emotional, and also rocket punching and superpowers. I'm like, why do you care about all of that? Like, I want things to be campy. That's why I like Kingsman. Did you see the first one?
Yeah, those are awesome.
The first Kingsman was great. The second one I was like, it's okay, but
that long fight scene was great.
Yeah, with what's his name? Ralph Fiennes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was great.
When you were growing up in Japan, did you have access to North American cinema?
Yeah.
Because you like movies a lot now. Did you always?
Do I like movies a lot?
Well, you go to the theater quite a bit, don't you?
I don't really go to
Okay.
theater that often.
I
I
felt
don't think.
you did for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Yeah,
Big thumbs up to movies.
yeah.
Well done, movies.
Movies is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they ever do dubbing of North American movies into Japanese?
Yeah.
Where they like replace the voice?
Yeah.
Because I like subtitles way more than dubbing.
Oh, really?
Because I used to watch a lot of anime, and I'd be very upset if they dubbed it. Like, I don't
Right.
care how well you dub it. It's way better to have the original voice actors
I
and then
totally
just let me
agree.
read it.
Like it's kind of like for example, like Friends. That like all the characters sound so different.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like lacking what's the word?
Like it's
Authenticity.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah,
true. It's somebody reading. They don't even see the animation in a lot of these dubbing things. I actually almost got a job. They wouldn't let me do it because I was bad at it. But Kyle tried to get me the job where, Kyle Bottom, he used to do, you'd rewrite the Japanese translation to match the mouth flaps
No
of
way.
the characters
Yeah.
in the anime for dubbing.
Whoa.
So it's like you had to rewrite the line to
Sounds
make it
tough.
seem more realistic.
Right.
Yeah, it was. It was very tough. And they were also like, you have to time yourself because you have to be able to do it quickly.
Yeah.
It was like this weird thing, and I tried to do it, and they were like, "No, it didn't match up. It's no good." And I was like, "Okay, well, I hate you." Also, dubbing sucks.
Yeah. You
Your
say
whole
that on your way.
business sucks.
Your exit interview
Yeah.
is just letting them know that they're doing bad things
Yeah.
to the things you love.
I was like, "Read, learn to read. Subtitles, better."
Yeah. Yumi, have you ever had an experience with a ghost?
Have I ever experienced ghost?
Supernatural or anything?
Supernatural? Well, no, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's one time
Mm-hmm.
when I was in Japan.
Yeah.
I woke up feeling like my body couldn't move.
Yeah, sleep paralysis.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then when I saw the window, there's I'm pretty sure a lady was walking.
That's common.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I was dreaming, half dreaming, or
Yeah.
I actually saw it. Or
I think
not.
that's what sleep paralysis is, where
Yeah.
your mind is now awake, but your body is dreaming still. But there's different versions of it, and one of them, the scariest one, is that you think that there's some entity sitting on your chest. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It has to do with, I think, the serotonin levels in your brain. So when you fall asleep,
Science.
something interesting happens. Is if you look at brain maps of people as they're falling asleep, the brain activity when you're awake is lots of things are firing. As you start to fall asleep, brain activity goes down. But then about an hour and a half after you fall asleep, when you go into rapid eye movement, which is the REM sleep,
right.
the brain comes back online and it's firing just as much as when you're awake. But because I think it's your amygdala, I'm not sure which part of your brain, but it's releasing enough serotonin to keep your body from moving. But then there are also people like Mike Birbiglia who have that disease where they don't stay still.
Yeah.
They
Right.
sleepwalk or they do crazy things. Like he
Right.
jumped out of a window.
Yeah. He thought there was a missile aimed right at only him. He's a comedian.
Yeah. He's fantastic. And so he was on the road, just like staying in a hotel, and he ran down the hall he didn't run down the hall. He jumped out of his own hotel room
through
window.
the glass.
Second
Oh
story.
God.
And
Yeah.
just like landed on the lawn.
Oh no!
And then just like woke up and was like, oh!
Oh my God.
So now he has to
Was
zip
he injured?
him. Yeah, he's cut up.
He had to go to the hospital.
So now he has to sleep zipped up into a sleeping bag up to his chin.
Yeah,
my
and have
God.
mittens on so he can't undo the
Yeah.
sleeping. But that's like,
Wow.
That's
so I think sleep
insane.
paralysis must be the opposite of that, where it's like your brain wakes up, but there's too
Yeah.
much, whatever it is, serotonin or the other one that like
Right.
keeps your body paralyzed.
I love
Right.
Mike Birbiglia. He's so funny.
He's the
and,
best.
and I loved his movie Don't Think Twice. Did you see that?
No.
It's great. He wrote it and he's in it, and it's about, and Keegan Michael Key is also in it, and
Oh,
it's
sweet.
basically about an improv troupe, but one person gets
Oh,
on
yeah.
SNL and everyone
Yeah,
else
yeah.
is so jealous and they're
Oh, yeah.
unsupportive.
Oh man, that sounds. I forgot about that movie.
It's on Netflix.
To see that.
It's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
Add to my list right now. On stream. Very unprofessional. Keep it.
I like this other Mike Birbiglia thing where when he was first able to bring an opener, he brought John Mulaney, and he had to have a talk with John Mulaney where he's like, "Hey man, you got to do a good job when you open for me." It's so hard to imagine John Mulaney not being like the best.
Yeah,
You know
but then
what I
that
mean?
was like the turning point for
Yeah.
John. He said he like rented an office.
Yeah.
And like started going and like writing every day.
Yeah.
And, like that's how he became so good.
That office sounds cool because just a bunch of comics rented it, and the rule was that there be no video games or anything there. And it
Yeah.
was him and Pete Holmes and a couple other people, I think.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like
No
just
phones. Like it'd be great
Yeah.
to have a like, because people, it's good to have a boss as much as you hate it, and it's still like when I do it myself, if I have the capability, it's very hard to do. But if you can motivate yourself to actually like sit down, write,
Yeah.
no Facebook, turn your phone off, like
Right.
spend an hour, 2 hours focused on writing.
Yeah.
It might not be the best thing you've ever created,
Yeah.
but it's better than zero.
Yeah,
which
totally.
Is always like, if you put it off, you've now created nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
And
you've
it's
created something that's bad, is still better than nothing.
Yeah, you're creating good habits.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
And you're keeping your mind sharp to potentially be open to a good idea that you do have.
Yeah, and you'll discover something. It's better to like, I mean, you write 10 jokes, always, only one of them is going to be good. For every 10 ideas you have, you're lucky if maybe one or two like make it to your act.
Yeah.
And so developing the ability to keep churning out material is so important and so difficult. I mean, in any artistic pursuit, right? Like I have no idea how you write songs. To me, it's like the most amazing thing and so confusing to me.
Well, I feel the same about what you guys do because at least for music, there's structure rules.
Yeah.
For like, if you want to write a song that has potential to be commercially successful, you can't really do really avant-garde moves.
Yeah.
So I know I will know like 3 choruses.
Yeah.
You know, these tempos are good for these kinds of songs.
Yeah.
This length, 3 minutes, 2:45, that kind of thing.
That's cool.
There's just trends that you can participate in or not. So
Yeah.
it depends on what you want to achieve. Like anytime I'm producing a new musician's album or a song for them, I will ask, what are your goals? Is it radio play or is it Spotify streaming or is it, because there's different rules for different things.
Yeah.
So I imagine comedy is sort of like that. But I actually feel like, because I'm writing a script right now, I don't understand the rules.
There are rules for a script too.
For
You can
sure.
find them.
But it's like, I'm like, is it douchey to like explain action? You
Yeah,
what
I don't
mean?
know.
Like,
Yeah, it's all that stuff.
yeah.
I mean, for me with stand up, it's like pretty similar to that. What I do is I eat a cookie, and then if there's a raisin in there, I become furious.
And you're outraged.
And then I say what I would say to the cookie to an audience, and then they're like, wow!
Yeah.
And then I'm confused, and I take their money, and I'm like, I don't deserve any of this. Why are you still coming to see me? I'm a fraud, goddammit. Haven't you realized?
I love that it's like one of your things is the absurdity of the emotion that you feel about something mundane, and I love that.
I get very mad about very mundane things, and I'm very calm about the things that normal people get furious about.
Yeah.
Like in my regular life,
So chill.
whenever there's like, a big
Most-
deal.
yeah.
Like when I lost my joke book, I told Emma, I was like, I lost my joke book. And she's like, oh my God, that's so terrible. And
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. Is there raisins in this?
That's good. Okay, Evan, I think you probably got to get out of here.
Do I?
I think so. Pretty
know.
soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. We can
We can go a little longer.
go a little
Yeah.
longer.
Okay.
Sure.
But like when it comes to structure, I find like when we do like CBC the debaters, like it's like set up quick as possible.
Yeah,
And
set up
punchline.
punch.
Like, but like what's the move you say? Avant-garde move.
Yeah.
I think it's like lots of millennial comedians.
Oh, okay.
Style.
They do weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, I was like looking at Kill Tony last night.
Yeah.
And there's one guy and it set up, and there's no punchline.
Oh, was that William Montgomery? Because they have a guy on every episode, and that's what he does, and that's what's funny about him.
Oh no,
yeah.
this guy was like randomly picked from the audience, but like, it was kind of like, but it worked because like, his name is Tony?
Yeah, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah. Because he explained, okay, there was no punchline, and then that was the punchline. But it was like,
That's risky though, because that could not work for most people.
No.
So you have to be a special kind of performer to get away with that, probably.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's always something that comes with time too. Like newer comedians always have the ability to. The ideas are always there.
Yeah.
It's just how do you turn this idea into a joke?
Yeah.
Is the hard part. And I mean, I still don't know how.
Yeah.
I stumble upon it accidentally once in a while. But every time I do it, but when I get a laugh, I don't have the ability to like look back and go like, that's what I did. I have no idea. I write a joke and I'm like, well, never gonna be able to do that again.
That was like when I was editing Phil Hanley's album, and he's like one of the best crowd work people.
Yeah, he's
like,
incredible.
He's like, I got to tell you, I don't get why this is funny. He's like, I just ask genuine questions, and then they laugh, and I just keep doing it.
I think that's the thing with most comedians, though, is because we're too close to it. We're inside it.
Yeah.
Like, we can see the strings. We see the threads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other people don't.
Yeah.
And so they're like, to them, it's new and it's surprising.
Right,
It's probably like, a baker or a chef that, like, has tasted this same recipe so many times. They're like, this is boring. And then people are like, I love hot dogs.
Well, I feel like that in a way because I've written thousands of songs, so sometimes it's hard where it's like, I've already done so many songs like this. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like you have to
that's
impress
like
yourself.
Extra layer, like so lyrics like that we can write, but like that's another layer to like you put melody to it. It's like crazy.
Well, sometimes I need to get myself motivated to create something by thinking about it like, this style of vocal over this style of genre music. I don't think that's been done before, so I want to try that. So I have to now trick myself into like being experimental within the confines of being marketable still. So it's like it's really about, because every chord progression's been done. So one day I could feel that way, and the next day I could feel like there's some magic to it if I have the right idea over it. So I'm assuming comedy's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's certain key phrases.
delivery?
If you watch a lot of comedy, you'll start to see key phrases come up a lot.
For sure.
I just read a book that was like that. It was this writing style where authors will do the thing where they ask a question, then answer it. Like they'll be like, "Was I happy about the deal? Ecstatic. Did it go well? Amazingly.
Did it go well? You tell me.
Yeah."
Do you from being in it for a long time now, is there sort of tricks or gimmicks you notice that annoy you in comedians?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Like I feel like certain things are cop outs just from being around it, where it's like, sorry, I'm high right now, like that thing. I don't like that. Like,
or like, oh, that was new, I'm not gonna do that. Taking out the book and like crossing it out. I'm like, you told that joke 700 times.
yeah.
But the audience loves it. If the audience laughs, this is the thing with comedy for me, at least. I'm like, if the audience is laughing and enjoying themselves, my opinion doesn't matter because you've done it.
Yeah.
And if the audience, to me, like when I see somebody make a Chewbacca noise and then everybody claps, I'm like, it's working.
Yeah, for sure.
When the audience stops laughing,
Yeah.
which is the same with like when people get mad at comedians for bringing up certain types of subject matter.
Okay.
It's like if they're getting a positive response from this type of joke, then it is not their fault for telling that joke. Like if you want a comedian to stop talking about something, make the audience stop laughing at it.
Yeah.
And then that's the quickest way to edit a comedian's act. Like, you don't come out and be like, censor this guy. He's talking about this thing that I don't like. It's like, but the audience laughs. Go talk to every single member of the audience and go, it's wrong to laugh at this thing.
Yeah.
And if you can convince all of them,
Yeah.
the comedian will very quickly stop telling that joke. We don't like bombing. I don't know if people know this, but if we're telling a joke that's not getting anything, it's going to be gone pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I just remembered in the last episode of this, Brett Forte told a Yumi story that I wanted you to tell about how someone answered their phone during your set and you took their phone and talked to them on stage. What happened?
Oh, so that we were in Prince George.
Yeah.
And then like during my set, like they were really drunk.
Yeah.
But like there's like one guy, he was like, oh yeah, I'm in comedy club. Like started talking. So like I was like, okay, give me the phone. Give me the phone. Like, and then I took like, okay, he's gonna call you back later. Bye. And then like I took the phone. Yeah.
That's great. That's a great way because now the crowd's so blown away. Probably that happened.
Yeah, they love
and then you've won them over for
It's so insane to me the way that people, like, where people choose to answer their phone.
I know.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, getting on a plane, people will answer. People will be on a call as they're getting on the plane. Like, they'll sit down next to you and be like, no, I'm just business. I gotta call you back.
Sometimes
I'm like,
on speakerphone.
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Crazy.
Oh yeah, like in public too.
That's
like,
crazy.
In stores, like why?
No headphones is a huge... all the time in the airport, people are watching stuff on their phone, full volume.
That's crazy.
And I'm like...
That's mind blowing.
It's why I wish if I had like a very low level superpower, it would be the ability to summon headphones. So that I could just go up to those people and just be like, I have a magic trick for you. Hi! Put these in, you inconsiderate piece of shit.
That's your superpower? Unlimited headphones to give away?
Just to dunk on people, though. Like, if it's like a friend and like, I really need headphones, be like, well, you're gonna have to do something shitty.
Yeah.
The power only works when I'm furious. So either give me a raisin or do something horrible.
That's interesting when the raisins become the good part of the meal, though. Like Raisin Bran.
Oh, yeah.
That's I guess that's the only time that happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. In order to make raisins good, you have to put them next to bran. And bran is like not even an ingredient you would eat on your own.
Yeah.
No one's like, hey, do you want some bran? What is that?
Yeah, I know. Like, what is it?
Bran is like something you'd put in somebody's mouth if they swore at you. You'd be like, hey,
You know the rules.
eat some bran.
Yeah.
Not bran on its own. Bran on its own is the worst selling cereal in the world.
That's the name
All
of it.
bran.
There's no scoops of raisins in bran on its own.
Yeah. And then the other rule is you're not allowed to put milk in it.
No milk allowed.
It's a cereal from hell right there.
Oh, terrible.
When you first moved to LA, you were kind of having a hard time. It's like you had to restart.
Yeah.
And so you must have just been writing so much, but not getting to try it on audiences. And you had to do like TV tapes, and so you had to write new material and not get to test it on audiences.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's weird going to the States from Canada. It's like New Game Plus. Like, I don't know if you ever played like Chrono Trigger, but it's like some video games, when you finish the game, they let you start over with all of your abilities, but you're back at the very beginning.
That's another great analogy.
It's the same thing with when you move to LA. It's like, I have these skills, but I'm still, fighting rats in the forest at the very beginning of the game. I think that's probably the most apt analogy of an open mic in Los Angeles is rats in the forest. Rats in the basement, maybe. That's probably better. But it's like, it's really weird because also it's like some stuff just doesn't work and you don't know why. Yeah. Because, it's like certain references they don't have.
Right.
Or even just saying like supermarket versus grocery store or like freeway versus highway or 8th grade versus grade 8.
Yeah.
It's like, these are all like weird things. So
you have to adjust.
Trying to figure all that out. So it's definitely a hard thing to have a backlog of stuff you've written and not get to try it.
Right.
Which is why I love coming up here because I can go to open mics and
Yeah.
mess around. And then when I come up, people are like, Ivan's gotten worse. I'm like, no, I'm just not doing the good stuff.
I don't think anyone's ever said you're getting worse.
I have that dream all the time.
That's your reoccurring
Your inner
nightmare.
heckler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have a reoccurring dream. The only like comedy dream I used to have a lot was I'd be hosting a show and like nobody would listen. Nobody would wait for me to bring them up. They just kept walking on the stage. It's my turn. I'd be like, sit down. You gotta wait till I say your name. And, whatever. Sunny Dollywall is like, get out of here. Also, the house lights are on and like nobody will sit down. It's like that, trying to do comedy. And there've been shows that I've done that are like that, where like everyone's talking. It's like you just stood up in a mall food court and you're like, hello, I'm here to do comedy.
Yeah. It's so unfair.
Yeah.
So, some audiences don't know the etiquette.
No,
Like-
they don't understand at all.
Yeah, like when you guys have to play with my band, and the crowd thinks they're being supportive by just repeating what you said. Like when you started doing your bus bit, and I heard some of my fans go, "I was on the bus yesterday,"
Yeah.
ruining the show.
Hey, whatever. If it makes you feel a certain kind of way, it's art.
That's right. One cool thing because I do go to LA a lot, I'll get to see my friends from this comedy scene there, and it always makes me proud because Vancouver's, we have skills here. Like our scene's good. Mm-hmm. And then so sometimes I remember I saw Gavin on an open mic at the Improv, and he wiped the floor with all the like lazy LA comics that get to go up there all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's noticeable,
Yeah.
And that's what's been cool about JFL too, is like I get to see my friends open for comics and make it tough for the headliners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you think the scene here is like that because it's hard?
Yeah, I think it's true. People have always said that Vancouver audiences are some of the toughest in the country. Like even when I started, people were like, doing comedy in Vancouver is like swinging a heavy bat.
Yeah.
And so when you go to other places, it's much easier to swing because I think Vancouver crowds are so discerning. I don't know if it's a combination of like they're smarter or they're poor and they really want to get value out of their money.
Yeah.
It's like when they spend money on something, they really want it to be good. There's also this skepticism of like, I could probably do this, so better. That's the weird thing about, I think, so many people that come to a comedy club are like, it's the only place where you have to perform, but the first 10 minutes of your performance is just convincing people that they want to be here. It's like, you've paid to get in. Can't you just commit to liking this? They're still just like, I don't know about this thing I've already bought.
Yeah. There's a singer named Henry Rollins, and he sang in a band called Black Flag, and he released his journals, and every time he's talking about going to Vancouver, he goes, "Oh great, here we go, Drunksville." And so I wonder if that's part of it too.
Yeah, maybe people drink a lot. That's true. I mean, if you go out on a weeknight, chances are most of the people in the audience work in the service industry, so they're like, it's their night off, and they're drinking.
Yeah.
It's my Friday. It's Wednesday. My Friday. I'm Caesar. I change the way.
All right, friends.
So fun. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so glad we got to do this lineup.
Yeah.
I tried to
So
orchestrate this for a little while, so I'm so glad.
Just for the audience, can you tell him I was on time?
Ivan was super punctual.
Very punctual guy.
Yeah.
So professional.
Doesn't even eat cookies ever into the microphone.
Yeah, I know.
Your podcast.
Yes, I have a podcast called Satan's Lawyer. It is found on everywhere you get your podcasts.
It's very funny. I'm subscribed to it.
Oh, thank you for listening. It's a semi-scripted / unscripted podcast where we argue in defense of indefensible topics. So basically, we take something that people normally would hate and try to defend it.
It's great.
For example, democracy is
That's so
terrible,
sweet.
or climate change is good. Things like that.
Rebellious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Yumi has Japanese Goddess Room.
Yes.
Very funny.
Oh, you have to be on it.
I would love to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll bring my
Okay.
nunchucks.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually have
We're
some
gonna
you
do
gave me
nunchuck
here.
Battle. Yeah.
Yeah, Ivan knows how to use them well. He's very good.
It's been a
Oh
while.
wow.
I'd have to warm up.
I don't know how to use them.
I can teach you.
Okay. Oh,
That could be an episode.
Oh, that would be
man.
great.
That would be the
yeah,
best.
that would be the best. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Anything else you want to plug?
No.
Okay. Okay. Listen to your album.
Yes, my album, I Wanted to Be a Dinosaur, is streamable.
Yeah.
I also have a special on Netflix
Yep.
on Comedians of the World.
Yep.
Please watch it and then send me an insulting message like most of the people.
They did not.
No, it's fine.
They did not. And then Yumi's album.
Yes, my name is Yumi.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be touring Malaysia and Singapore next month.
There you go.
Yeah. And then will be my first time Halifax Comedy Festival.
Oh, great.
There you go.
They're so much fun.
Yeah, I've heard so much
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Halifax is a great city.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful people.
Okay, my friends. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Comedy After Podcast. I've been your host, Kevvy. Thank you to Ivan and Yumi. Make sure to follow them on social media and make sure to follow us on social media at Comedy Here Often on all platforms. And make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. We'll see you next week.